Do you remember your parents telling you, stand up straight or get your shoulders back? It's great advice, but today I'm going to show you how those good intentions can lead to tight hips, a weak stomach, and low back pain. And then I'll give you an exercise, one simple exercise, so that you can avoid all of that. So here's what happens. We hear shoulders back and down or stand up straight, and it often ends up this way. Right? And as you can see, I'm going to put my arms up so you can see I'm actually not straight. I've got a big arch in my ribs and my booty went back and my chest went forwards. And we may feel like we're standing up straight, but actually doing this, we're not using our stomach. So we're not using our core, and we're shortening the space on the front of the hips, leading to tight hips, and then it shortens the space in the low back, compressing the low back. So over time, walking around like this can actually cause these compensations in our body. So how do we stand up straight without pushing our ribs forward? So when people say shoulders back and down, and we go shoulders back and down and squeeze them together, again, the ribs want to push forward. What we have to do is we have to what we call deepening across the front of the ribs, compressing the ribs, or ribs down. We want to pull those down and actually use our back muscles. It's not so much going to come from lifting our chest. It's coming from our back muscles, drawing together and drawing those shoulders down without splaying the ribs out really wide. Now, it can be tough to do this when you're standing out in space and you don't have any feedback, you're not sure where to go. So I'm going to give you a really simple exercise that you do on the floor, and it gives you lots of feedback so you can start to find this. So you come down onto the ground, lay onto your back, and we'll take our hands and place them right over the front of our ribs. Then take a nice big breath in, and you'll feel your ribs expand into your hands. And as you exhale, we compress the front of the ribs so they're going to come in and down. So it feels like the ribs are going in towards each other and down where they splay, in towards each other and down. And when you do that, you'll feel the back of your ribs pressing down into the floor. And that's where we want to keep them. So not the low back. It'll be easy to push the low back down. You want to make sure you feel right here at the front of the ribs coming together. You're going to feel your abdominal muscles work there and the back of the ribs into the mat. Now, when you do that, your shoulders may roll forwards. But now you have the floor here. You can keep those ribs down and draw the shoulders back as well, or think of opening your collarbones. And now you have this nice, long, extended spine. You're starting to feel the muscles you need to engage when you're standing up to keep yourself standing straight without the ribs punching forward. Now you can even add this, so when we bring the arms overhead standing up, and I'll come up and show you that, when we bring the arms up overhead, this happens a lot. Or if they're swinging forward and they get overhead and your shoulders get stuck, then you keep lifting up, and we end up with that same action of the ribs forward and the butt back, and this whole front is getting shortened and also just left open. It's not being used. So again, we'll use that rib compression as the arms come up so that we end up straight instead of tailbone up and out. And this will go right into, for your yoga postures, up and over to the side when we do the side half moon stretch. This happens here too. The ribs go up and then your half moon ends up going this way. So that's where we want the ribs down and compressed. So if we come back to our drill where we've got this down, we just reach the arms up, and then we start to reach the arms overhead, keeping those ribs on the floor. And you'll notice if your shoulders, this shoulder extension or shoulder flexion actually, if you get stuck here, that's okay. This is how far your arms would go if you're standing up to keep your ribs and spine neutral. It's all going to help strengthen your middle, strengthen your core. When you do this, you're going to feel these muscles through here working. So you bring the arms overhead, keeping those ribs compressed and down as far as you can, and that's where your arms overhead are. Now you know how to keep the spine neutral when you bring the arms overhead, and then if you had to take the side stretch, it would go from there. But what it's going to do while you're on the floor is start to teach your body where it needs to be without working so hard because you have feedback from the ground. All right, so now you've really got the skinny on how to stand up straight, creating a strong core, lengthened hips. You'll be standing taller, you'll be looking slimmer, and you're ready to go. All right. And you know, if you're concerned about your posture and want to keep standing tall as you get older, then I want to introduce you to something that will make you feel better than you have in years. Fit and Flexible for Life is a program of 10-minute-a-day routines that you'll actually do. It's for women in their 50s and 60s who want to get their strength, stamina, and balance back, even if you're not limber or have previous injuries. Fit and Flexible for Life has 10-minute-a-day videos so they fit into any lifestyle, easy to follow routines, no equipment is needed, and new you in 30-day plan, plus so much more. So if you want to check it out, just head over to fitandflexibleforlife.com, and I'll also include this link below the video.